Hey, on this episode of Three Black Guys with the Mic, we talk about Donald Trump saying that drug dealers should get the death penalty. Plus, we talk about DJ Envy. Was it unprofessional for him to walk out on his interview with Desus and Mero? Plus, Stacey Dash and a whole lot more all on this episode of Three Black Guys with the Mic.
First of all, let me tell you something. Lamont is just full of
Sometimes my mama said, when you don't have nothing nice to say, you should be quiet.
People say that Stephen A. is a coon. You agree with that? Everybody got quiet on that one? Okay, Lamont, go ahead.
Rudy Giuliani practices voodoo. What? So he put a voodoo hex on my girl, Hillary, and that's why she got woozy. And the Secret Service had to prop her up and put her in the van.
Take us to a break, my dude.
It was voodoo, son.
I don't know about that voodoo.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Three Black Guys with a Mic. Other value meals give customers a handful of side items. Bunch of fries in the bag. But Wendy's 4 for $4 is set in 2018 on fire. Hashtag value goes. Wendy's created the 4 for $4 to give customers the best meal in America for only $4. And we thank you because the response has been sick. It's March, so March Madness is in full effect. So head over to Wendy's and get a 4 for $4. Now you can choose from 8 fresh tasting options. Double stack, crispy chicken sandwich, grilled go wrap, junior bacon cheeseburger, crispy chicken BLT, a junior cheeseburger, spicy go wrap, or a junior cheeseburger deluxe. All those options for you. Plus nuggets, fresh fries, and a drink. You can't beat it for $4. Plus, it's always fresh, never frozen, at a participating Wendy's. Offer not valid in Alaska and Hawaii. Now, let's start the show. Welcome to another episode of Three Black Guys with the Mic. Go ahead, sir.
No, sir. I apologize. You were introducing the show. Who's here and who's here and who's here?
I am here. Maynard is here. Lamont is here. We are back for another episode of Three Black Guys with the Mic. Anybody got their back brackets busted? Anybody watch the NCAA?
My brackets are broke up bad. Brackets
Lamont?
Broke bad.
Hey man, I don't do a bracket, bro. You just get some beer and popcorn and just watch the game. I ain't got time for all that. We just want to see some good basketball.
What about St. Patrick's Day? What about St. Patty's Day? Did you take some green beer for St. Patty's Day?
Listen, man.
Or is that the white man's holiday? We can't celebrate that.
Listen, man. I'm from Wakanda. We don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day if you're from Wakanda. Isn't that what we were told 2 weeks ago?
Are you having a hard time pronouncing it? I mean, most people know exactly how to pronounce where they're from. I'm just asking.
So that was my mic. I said Wakanda. I'm from the town.
Do you want to stay with that pronunciation, sir? I'm just asking.
Christ.
Is that your final answer?
Hey, Spud, where am I from? I told you I don't watch cartoons. Spud, where am I from? Help me out here, brother.
You're from Burwood and Curtis on the east side of Detroit. Where they officially got 3 houses on the block right now.
Yeah, but I thought it was Wakanda, right? That's not it, Maynard?
That's how it's pronounced. I'm just asking. I didn't know because you sound real uncertain. I mean, you were like mad unsure out here.
Well, But anyway, I'm from the place where everybody's black. How about that? Except we got one white dude in the whole place.
Detroit?
He's in Detroit? No. Detroit is the opposite right now. If you go downtown, it's the opposite. But that's another subject. But I mean, like you said, shout out to Michigan, because I did get up and go use the bathroom. I said, this is not going to happen. I said, Houston about to just go ahead and just wrap this on up. I come back from the restroom, everybody's screaming and hollering. And what y'all screaming for? I look at the screen, I said, oh my goodness. So all I can say is I didn't believe. I mean, not just Michigan State, what was that? Who was that? Virginia lost. I'm like, what is this?
Virginia got blew out. University I was like, of Maryland, Baltimore County.
Yeah, I was like, who? You know what I'm saying? Who is that? So, but again, that's what the NCAA is for. I mean, it's to give you that excitement. You know what I mean? It's to put teams in play, to play some of those bigger schools that they normally wouldn't be able to. And that's what makes it exciting. So I think you trying to figure all that out, do the brackets and all that. You know, I'm good. I'll pass.
B-Rock had Michigan State winning it all. That's over.
Yeah. Listen, Barack. You and Michelle.
Whoa. How you going to pronounce his name? I mean, you might as well just said his whole name like Barack Hussein.
I'm just saying, man. Barack should not be, doing a bracket. He out here living, bro. He's what you call really doing it big. So just chill, Barack. Just I don't know. Just get on your spaceship and fly to the moon and come back next week. I don't know. Just do something. Just relax.
He's a regular dude, man. He's filling out a bracket.
Man,
can you imagine being in the pool with Barack? Like, okay, how much can we win? And be like, well, I'm putting up $50,000. You be like, whoa, wait a minute, dude, prices are not like that right now. Like, yo, this is like a $25 league. No, well, then I'm gonna have 24 brackets then, I guess.
Well, I mean, when you're friends with Oprah and David Geffen and Jay-Z, I mean, $50,000 is that's chump change.
Yeah, that's entry level right there.
That's entry level. Let's get into another episode of Donald Trump and the Trumpettes.
Don't drink that wine. Coke would be better. It's easy to find. If that won't do, smoke a joint or two. But don't drink that wine. No, that wine.
So, Maynard, what are your thoughts on the death penalty for drug dealers? Today, 45 had his conversation, had his nice little talk in New Hampshire about the border wall, saying that the Democrats need to just come on board, be a part of the border, and stop the flow of the damn drugs, is basically what he said. I'm paraphrasing. But he's like, look, we need to have tougher laws on the drug dealers. Give them the death penalty. Is this the answer?
Hell no. What is wrong with, this, what we have to, and black people, we got to really, we got to be focused. Now, we know that through the 80s and 90s, if you got hooked on crack or if you smoked weed, if you got caught with a little nickel bag of any substance, of any type, you were going to go to jail. There was no rehab when it was black and brown people. Now that, some guy whose name is, Joey or whatever the case may be, falls off a ladder at work and he goes to the doctor, gets hooked on opioids and starts shooting heroin, all of a sudden we got to rehab him. But send the drug dealer to jail, to not just to jail. He's talking about death penalties. What? We talking about death penalties? I mean, maybe we talking about death penalties? The boy who stands on the corner who sells a dime bag of weed, cocaine, heroin, or whatever the case may be is no more responsible for selling for the dime bag of weed, heroin, or whatever it may be than the boy who works in Foot Locker selling Jordans. That drug was manufactured and distributed and arrived somewhere, somehow, that was way over his head. But we gonna make sure that we can imprison, control, and ultimately destroy black and brown bodies because Donald Trump said so.
But here's the thing that I'm curious about. But here's the thing: the opioid crisis, the epidemic of opioids, doesn't really affect black and brown people more than it does white people. So essentially, I would think that you would be locking up more white people than you would be black and brown people. And go ahead, I'm sorry.
So remember what happened when he was on the campaign trail and he went up to New Hampshire, Maine, one of the far north New England states. And the governor, LePage, came out and said, basically he said something to the effect, our poor white girls get hooked on these drugs and these black boys come up from New York and they sell their drugs and before they leave, they impregnate a little white girl. Because a little white girl is innocent. Y'all remember that comment? This whole thing. And then where did he go back and make the statement today? In New Hampshire. So he is catering and pandering to a group of people who want to hear black people are bad. Black people are going to hurt you. Black people are going to rape your daughter. And what we need to do is when they sell the drugs to our little white children, our innocent white children, we're going to put black people on death row. That's what they wanted to hear. Now, I don't think there's anybody who's going to say, yeah, we're going to go ahead and have the death penalty for selling dope. I don't think that's going to happen. But, you know, I've been wrong before, as Lamont will definitely remind me.
Yes, you have been, Maynard Scales.
That was a handoff to you, man. Now
you're
you
right.
This is the part when you come in and you give your commentary. That's how the show works.
Well, no. I mean, I hate to say this, man, but I agree with. Well, I agree with you about maybe 80%. I mean, and some of what Spud said. I mean, because when you think of opioids, like you said, you don't think of the African American community. You know what I'm saying? You think of that large, population that's in Ohio. Like I was watching on Showtime, it's called The Trade, I think it is, where it shows the correlation with where a lot of the opioids come from in Mexico to certain pockets of the country. They're like focused a lot on Ohio. And you rarely see African Americans that kind of get hooked on those drugs and even are selling those drugs. But my thing is this, man, a lot of this sounds like when I was reading about eugenics and how eugenics was something that those Nazis, did, and how some people still think of that process on controlling the human population, bro. I feel like, there's some people, and I don't want to put this on Donald Trump's doorstep, but it's like there's some people that believe that there's a certain segment of the population that just should be exterminated. And I know that's a really tough term, but I do believe that there's some elitists that believe that. You know what I mean? They believe that, it's only so much water, it's only so much food. And as certain segments of certain populations grow, that some people got to go. You know what I mean? On certain different levels. And if you're in a conspiracy space, you might say, well, that's why this population gets this particular set of diseases and this one, this and that, man. And I just think Donald's just on that train, man. Donald, I know you're going to ask if he's winning and you're going to say I'm going long, but like, dude is
no,
bad,
I'm sorry.
man.
You said that on your own. We didn't have to say that for you.
Yeah. I mean,
but low key, just to add to what you said, Lamont, adding to what you said, not being contrary.
Okay.
This, let's not forget that the state of North Carolina ended its eugenics program in 1977.
You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying?
The state of New Jersey had a eugenics program well into the 50s or 60s.
You feel what I'm saying?
America practiced eugenics here.
Right.
And so this is, we like that, people love to be like, well, Hitler's the worst person. We'll blame it all on Hitler. But in North Carolina, eugenics didn't, they disbanded the eugenics board. But I think the last forced sterilization in North Carolina was like in 2003. Where they basically decided, we're going to tell you that you cannot, procreate. You can't have a kid. And so, those people who know what eugenics is or what that was, you understand it. But those who don't, but eugenics is basically what Lamont was saying is, we're going to tell you that we're going to sterilize you. You are not worth giving birth to another child. So what we're going to do is either castrate men or find ways to sterilize the women. And the primary targets of that were African Americans.
All righty. Word of the day is eugenics.
That's it.
It starts with the E, Spud, just to let you know.
I don't really care.
Well, I'm actually, I'm trying, how every time we have a word, Lamont has to look it up and it says eugenics. So I'm trying to talk to you, Spud, so that Lamont can hear me.
Wait, Maynard. See, I'm the one that brought it up. I'm the one that's read on eugenics. So why in the world would you need me to understand how eugenics is spelled?
Lamont, this is my job to pick on you and try to appear to make it look like you don't know what you're talking about. That's my job.
So is that why you have people on the internet calling me a racist and ignorant?
I don't have those people on the internet calling you those things. They are calling you those things because that's what they think.
So I'm ignorant and I'm a racist?
All right, Spud, go ahead.
So with the Marco, so I want to play Marco's clip, and then we can kind of, I guess, dive into his whole comment about, I guess he's going off on you, Lamont, about Bruno Mars and your comments on Bruno Mars, and he basically is just like, yo, let's let Bruno Mars dance.
Hey, three black guys with a mic. Just Marcos from Puerto Rico. Just saw some stuff on my Facebook feed about Bruno Mars' color. I mean, don't that seem a little ridiculous though? The dude's brown. The dude, I mean, are we still hung up on color? When can he just dance and enjoy the damn music? People have been repeating generations of music forever. I mean, if I ain't mistaken, when Biggie died, who ran with it? Who ran with the rap industry? Big Pun ran with it, right? Real African culture. We preserve it. We dance it. We play it. We gather. We play drums. We dance. We eat. We do it. That culture that African Americans have been crying about losing forever. It's been here all the time.
First, I want to, shout out to Marco, man. We definitely appreciate you, taking the time to weigh in, all the way down there in Puerto Rico. But I just look at it like this, man. Everybody has an opinion. And I think that, actually I've modified my opinion just a tad bit.
You like Bruno Mars now? You like Bruno Mars now?
Never. No. And that is my opinion. And one should not be faulted because they have an opinion. Maynard likes rice and beans. I think it's disgusting, right? But I can't fault Maynard because that's what he likes. That's what he likes, and it's okay. So what I'm saying is that my opinion is modified a bit because when I call him a thief, he's not a thief by himself. I had to go back and take a look and a listen. He was like a co-conspirator in the thievery, because the Mark Ronson guy, who's the actual producer of the record that took the music from where he took it from, he's the one who produced the track or several tracks that I call, me personally, thievery. This is not like new. And you can say, well, I've heard this clip of the track and I heard this and I don't think it's the same. Well, you know what? At the end of the day, some people say that it's not. Some people say that it is. We're going to let the court of law determine that. But in my opinion, I can still say that he took from another artist and their music, and to me, that's thievery. Yes, if you want to go dance and have a good time to Bruno Mars and you think he's the greatest, that's cool. But what you can't do, whether it's the brother from Puerto Rico or the other people from the West Coast or the other people from down south, or all of these thousands of people who want to get on our Facebook page and talk about and send all of these dirty, nasty messages to me, yo, I got an opinion. And if you don't like it, then...
Whoa, wait a minute.
It's okay.
Wait a minute.
You're gonna tell me kiss your natural? You're gonna tell me kiss your natural?
Well, and I'm gonna say I do have. Listen, I say I was born and raised in the city of Detroit, and I have a real black ass. Now I'm not telling anybody kiss that, and this is all in love and it's in fun. But the reality is that I have an opinion, and if it's in contradicting you and your opinion, it's okay, dog. How about that? Because at the end of the day, Bruno Mars is still whack to me. And I just have this opinion that in 5, 7, definitely 10 years from now, we ain't gonna be talking about no Bruno Mars. Not gonna happen. And that's just my opinion. So I think we should all just get over it, have a Coke and a smile, and move on.
So, Spud, what he's basically saying is when we get to episode 695, we need to go ahead and check his recollection. And you know what I heard Lamont saying? Well, all I kept hearing him say is, "I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, I have an opinion." Like, yo, my dude, so what? Your opinion's wrong. It just is wrong this time around, my dude. So,
okay. Here's
as I was basically because I was producing this show this week. Let's move on to the next topic.
You know what? Don't let me do the DJ envy on you, buddy. Don't let me do it. Because you don't want that. You don't want me to do the DJ envy. Okay.
Speaking of DJ Envy, that's where I was going next. We talk about light-skinned people. We talk about DJ Envy, who walked out on the interview. Was this a bad look for Envy? Was it needed? I mean, what are your thoughts on? We talk about wives are off limits all the time. So was he wrong in this scenario, or did he do the right thing?
Maynard, you have a wife.
That was really a low blow. That was a low blow.
How was that low?
Wait,
That was
let's
a
just
low
move
blow.
on. Let's just move on. Let's move on. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let's just move on. Let's just move on. So this is the reason why Envy is wrong. He goes on his wife goes on TV. The minute that you go on TV or the minute that you go on radio, you a target. If she had just went on TV, like, for instance, although they divorcing or whatever the case may be,
right? They divorcing.
Tamar Braxton. No, hold on. I'm talking. Tamar Braxton is somebody's wife, right? Is she off limits? Is this person or that person, just because they're married to somebody, does it make them off limits? Like Candy Burris is married to the boy Todd. Is she off limits because she's a wife? No. Once you put yourself on TV, once you put yourself out there in a certain way, you opened yourself up. She didn't have to go on TV. She wanted to go on TV, and that she wanted to come on there and talk about Rashawn Envy and say
government name. What are you doing, man? Can we stay away from the government names, bro?
Was that the Cactus you were giving out this week that we didn't know about?
She wanted to go on there and talk about him, and he didn't want to go on that show and talk about that situation, but he said, okay, I'm going to show up and I'm going to be here for her. But when she crossed the line and went on the show, she became open to be got at.
Oh, come on, Maynard. Lamont.
Maynard's wrong as usual. You know what I'm saying? That's just what Maynard does. Maynard, he wakes up in the morning just to be wrong. I mean, at the end of the day,
I'm sure he has more to wake up to the morning to do.
He just wakes up like, I'm going to be wrong today. I mean, but you know what? Like Maynard, like just like Maynard, Envy was wrong. Like Envy, were you right in having a conversation with those brothers? And yep, I do know Desus. Yep, I do know Mero. Yep. And if you know those guys, A, they're not malicious like that. B, they're not, as Envy tried to come with the tough talk, you know what I'm saying? That's just something you could have pulled them brother to the side, say, listen, check this out, bro. You know what I'm saying? In the future, I felt a certain kind of way. My wife, X, Y, and Z. And you could, because his reasoning was, well, I wanted them to know I was serious. Yo, my dude, you could have did that off air in the lobby. You could have called their phone. You got their number. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that should have been handled, but it just shows, how they always say, like, money doesn't come with instruction. You can't buy class. It's like, that just showed how whack, Envy was in handling that situation. Was it because he was emotional? Probably so. Did his wife probably put him up to it? Maybe. And or the last thing, because I'm going long, as you say, maybe Desus, Mero, Charlemagne, and Envy, along with Angela Yee, got in a huddle like they did in D.C. and said, listen, we're going to go ahead and clown and do this for the gram to get some clicks and views and to trend, which they did. Because at the end of the day, bro, all of this is starting to be so much theater, you never know what the real deal was. You know what I'm saying? So it was, to me, as a grown man, it was whack all the way around, if it was that or if it was this.
The minute that his wife came on TV, she became a target.
Not necessarily.
No, look. If you on TV, then people are going to talk about you. Now, what Envy's mad is that people who make a living about talking about everybody, like, all right, put it like this: Lonnie Love is on one of them shows. I can't remember which one.
She's on the same show that they went on.
She's on the show. All right, Sherry Shepherd's on the show.
Tia Mowry. You talking about two different shows.
I
one
know,
is the real, one is the talk. Yeah.
All right, whatever. They're all on shows. Or Tamar Braxton used to be on the show. Or you name anybody. a lot of these women are married to people. All these people are sons and daughters of someone else. Now, it would be wrong for him to drag his son or Envy's son or daughter through this. But when the wife decided that she wanted to be on TV and she wanted to talk about it, that means that she gets to come on TV and talk, and nobody gets to say shit about it. No,
yeah, but
if you
come on, man.
Wait a minute. You just let Lamont talk for 23 minutes and 18 seconds.
Spud, did you hear him say, wait a minute? He's the showrunner. He needs to shine.
There you go. I'm reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time.
Reclaiming my time.
Shout out to Auntie Max. Thank you. I stole that from her. I thieved that off of her. I Bruno Mars her up. So if you go on TV, you there so that you can say what you want to say. That means that people are going to say what they want to say about you. You crossed that line. If she wanted to be anonymous and she didn't want nobody to come at her, she should have just stayed at home. But the minute that you come on this, the minute that you cross that threshold, you open to that. There it is.
Listen, because you are a wife and you go on TV, I don't think that gives people an open target to just kind of make up things about you. And that's where I think that Envy was a little upset, because the whole context of the conversation was, listen, my wife has been with me and she said I was with him before. He was DJ Envy, he was Rashawn, and Desus is whatever his name is, one of the Bodega Boys, said, oh, but you like that DJ Envy check, though. And Envy felt some type of way about that. I could respect that he would feel some type of way, especially if my wife has been with me since I was 15. So it can't be about the check. I mean, the man got 5 kids with the girl. So I can't say that because you go on TV, as much as I don't like, and I will be very, very, I'm unapologetic. My wife is going to kill me over this. I do not like Tamar Braxton at all.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Stop.
I do not like Tamar Braxton at all.
What's wrong with Tamar?
Tamar is whack. All right? Now, you want to talk about somebody who's whack, got whack juice, all the whack juice in the world? That's a Tamar Braxton. Tamar is not hot at all. That's my personal opinion.
So, Maynard.
Because she's on TV doesn't give me the right to be able to say, oh, she's on TV. Now I can talk about her and say whatever it is you want to say. I don't think that opens that door.
Tamar Braxton was whack.
That's my personal opinion. Regardless.
But you put it on. You put it on the show. We're available on all 7 continents.
Maynard.
We're available with all
Hayes.
We're available with all podcast platforms are available.
So I guess when I call Vincent Herbert tomorrow, even though who's been working on our theme song for our podcast, I guess that's down the drain now, right?
No, because they divorcing anyway.
Yeah, but still, he don't want you shooting at his girl like that. I mean,
right, he still loves her, bro.
He's still shooting in the DMs a little bit, and by DMs I mean something else.
That was wrong, man. You can apologize for that, bro. That was wrong.
Hey, man.
What?
I'm just saying.
All my y'all shooting shots at all my friends, so I guess I'm gonna be just the bastard.
How come all of your friends ain't friends with us?
Because I keep it separate, bro. I can't.
That's a good question.
Man, I can't.
That is a good damn question. Why is it that we got to watch TV to know that you standing next to Vincent Herbert, and we didn't even know you even knew Vincent Herbert?
What was that? Was it the BET Awards or something?
It was at the damn album release. All in the videos.
All in the videos.
Listen, I have Maynard out here. Maynard's a loose cannon, bro. I cannot put him in the room with certain people. You never know how it's going to turn out. Nah. We're not risking that. Not yet. No, sir.
Impugning my character, man. Spud, can we take a break?
Let's go to a
please?
break, man. Let's go to a break, ladies and gentlemen. Stay right there. We come back. We still got a lot more to talk about. Some 3 black guys with the mic.
Man, do I love card night. You ready, boys? You got a king?
Go fish that.
Oh, come on. This is WWE superstar Titus O'Neil. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Three Black Guys with the Mic. Let's get into Stacy Manor. Is this a publicity stunt? I mean, Stacy Dash came out supporting the Republican Party. She had a little run on Fox News. Fox News was like, see you later. We're not messing with you like that. Now she wants to run for Congress. Is this a publicity stunt? Is this more clicks and views? Is this a Kid Rock? What's his real name, Lamont?
You talking about Kid Rock's government?
Yeah, what's his government name? Richard?
Oh, Jesus. I don't know.
Anyways.
That's your homie, ain't it?
Stop. Kid Rock. Oh my God, you got me drawing a blank. But anyway, go to Stacy.
Stacy Dash Manor. Is this some bullshiggity, or does she really honestly have a chance? Or is this an opportunity for her to be able to get back on another political commentary show?
Well, I think there's a couple of things you got to think about. Yes, she wants to get on another political commentary show, I think this is going to, she's going to lose. She's running basically as a Republican, has been speaking out for years now as a Republican, and has been disparaging to the African-American community. And the district that she's running in includes Compton, Watts, and other basically predominantly African-American and Black constituents. So I'm not sure she's getting that vote. So I don't think that's going to happen for her.
You mean to tell me,
Stacy, that
they not gonna vote for Stacy in Compton?
I don't think that. I mean, vote for her for what exactly? There might be some things that she could run for in Compton. That she might be able to run for some things in Compton that people would vote for.
But Congress isn't one of them.
Like what, man?
I don't know. I don't know exactly, but it ain't. Congress ain't one of them.
Lamont, do you think that this is even a good look for Stacy Dash?
Well, kind of like Robert Ritchie, because I got to double back and try to get that right. You know what I'm saying? You had me on a brain freeze, bruh. I think it's about the clicks and views. I think, like Maynard said, I mean, she's trying to get in a battle that she can't win. I mean, I can't believe that anybody other than herself is telling her that this is real. Because you got to remember, Stacey's a little nutbag. You know what I'm saying? She's a little off her rocker. I mean, and I'm going to throw it around too. Like, I know her baby daddy real well. You know what I'm saying? And he used to tell me stuff about Stacey. Like, she's from a different planet, bro. Like, so.
What did he say?
That she's a nutbag. You can Google that. You know what I'm saying? who her baby daddy is.
I thought he was going to get some juice.
Nah. She's from a different planet, bro. She's spacey. She believes that, that me and you and us, people that look like us are just like of a different planet. You know what I mean? She believes that, people of a certain hue, that they know it all. And maybe somebody's in her ear, like you said, Maynard, that told her, one of her Fox News buddies said, listen, you want to make some cash? This is what you do. You're going to go play against these Black people. You're going to lose, but maybe we could do some stuff. We can get another money play going. You never know, you know what I'm saying, what they got going on, because she's not going to be able to win, I don't even think half of the votes in that district. Would you give her half, Maynard, just off her name alone?
No.
Okay.
I give her none in Compton and none in Watts.
Right.
There's two cities you're going to lose, period.
Yeah. So, it's just something for us to talk about. Some more clicks and views on her behalf for her to be able to get on Fox and just spew some foolishness.
Woo, Stacey.
She's still fine, though.
Well, that you can't take away from her. All right? Now, that you cannot take away from her.
She's okay.
What?
I got my money on Nia Long, baby. What you want to do?
Ooh.
What you got? What you got, Maynard? I got $10. What you got?
You can go ahead. Nia's still fine. Go ahead. That's good. But I'm gonna rock out with Stacy Dash, nutbag and all.
Wait. So you got $5.
Well, I heard that Nia's a little nutbag too.
Yeah, I heard that she's a little bit of a nutbag.
Listen, hey, watch your mouth. I got you, but listen. If you got $5,
why we gotta watch our mouth on Nia Long, but we gotta watch our mouth? Or what? You just sit here and just said that you had the inside scoop on Stacey Dash. Then we talk about Nia Long, and now we gotta watch our mouth.
That it's like Bruno Mars and Beyonce. Like you can't talk bad about Beyonce. You just
listen,
you'll have like bad dreams.
Beyonce, hey, listen, man. I know you got the inside track to the Beehive. I know that you on the first name basis with the Carters. Listen, I'm not trying to tell nobody how to parent their kids, but listen, I did my own parenting and my own kid. All I'm saying is, look, I'm not trying to tell nobody how to parent their kids, but sometimes it's a bedtime. Sometimes it's a bedtime.
But wait.
Listen,
wait.
Maynard, does Marley have a bedtime?
You better damn betcha.
You better damn betcha she got a bedtime. So all I'm saying is,
Spud, you are wrong and a hypocrite because when Assad was out on tour, Assad was out there rocking the mic. Assad doing fashion shows. Assad is younger than
he need a bedtime too. All right. All I'm saying is I ain't mad at Assad. Assad just want to play. That's all. Khaled, let me just give you some advice. One parent to another, father to father. That boy don't want to be in front of no damn cameras. That boy want to be playing somewhere. Let that boy play. Let that boy go out and find some friends. You ain't his friend.
Between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m.
Right.
And put that baby to bed. Put that baby to bed.
So all I'm saying is listen.
Baby needs rest.
All I know is I saw Jay-Z try to take the bid card from Blue, and he wasn't able to do it. So all I'm saying is I ain't trying to tell nobody how to parent their kids. But anyways, moving on. iHeartRadio. Is it going to be a tsunami of people going to lose their job or what? I mean, now for the average person, they probably don't even know what we're talking about. So iHeartRadio in America is the biggest radio conglomerate in the country. They just filed bankruptcy for $10 billion. Is that what they were in debt? $10 billion?
I think the debt was $20 billion, but they're trying to get 10 knocked off.
So $20 billion in debt. I mean, some of the articles are saying this is not going to affect any of the personalities. Some of those personalities, of course, are Big Boy out of L.A., Ryan Seacrest, Angie Martinez, The Breakfast Club. That's just to name a few. So is this going to have an effect or is this just going to go away? Maynard, I'll start with you.
I think it's going to have an effect on the lesser names that you didn't name, right? And for most people in the country.
So Bushman ain't got a job no more.
Yo, Bush, God bless you. And you are a Detroit icon, if you will. And Spud said that. So, and I live in Virginia, so I don't.
Did you say icon? Did you say icon?
He's been, yes. Bush been on JLB for how many years has Bush been on JLB?
But you said icon.
I mean, he's been on there longer than an icon. If you're putting time into the icon status, then yes, he deserves that as an icon.
Yeah, I mean, let me say this. Yo, getting fired in radio as an on-air personality is what most people just call Wednesday. So he's been with one station for plus 20 years. Yeah. 25. That's an amazing accomplishment because most people, you get a good run, about 3 years, 4 years. You moving up or you moving on. What's that?
Frankie Crocker is an icon.
I didn't say a national deal. I said he is.
I think Tom Joyner is an icon.
Right. I said a Detroit radio icon. I said a Detroit radio icon. Lamont, man. Okay. Stop. Just stop.
No. I'm just asking a question.
Cats ain't big. If the Cats ain't big to Lamont. Lamont, everything with Lamont, he's just bigger than that. Because he rolls with Vince Herbert and Tamar Braxton.
Now Vincent Herbert's hot. Tamar on the other hand, Not so much.
Yo, Spud, we got conversations that are needed?
No, I'm just saying, not so much.
All right. So anyhow, the people like Bush who aren't national programs, the afternoon drive person, if that's not a national person, the overnight person, if they still even have an overnight person, so much voice tracking is going on. A lot of people will lose their jobs. And the crazy part is that, and this is the part that I'm really interested in, and it's a long way around. So most people know this radio group, iHeartRadio, owns a radio station, probably almost in your market. They own, was it 850, 900 radio stations? Nobody owns anywhere near that number of radio stations. I think the next largest owner might be in like the 250 space. So they own 3 or 4 times more radio stations than anybody else. And so they used to be called Clear Channel, which a lot of people may know them better by that name. But so they were bought out by two companies, one being Bain Capital. Where have you heard that name before? Well, Mitt Romney used to run Bain Capital, and they did something called leveraged buyouts. So what a leveraged buyout is, I buy the company, and then the company has performed so well, I'm going to take all these loans against the company, and if the company doesn't perform, then they have to file bankruptcy. And so that's what happened. And if you remember during the election between Romney and Barack, there was a commercial where this white gentleman was standing at a fence of a factory or a plant in some town, and he was saying, Mitt Romney, he leveraged buyout my company. He did a leveraged buyout of my company or the place I used to work. I used to work at this factory, and now I don't have a job. So now we see it happen in the radio. And are people going to lose their jobs? Yeah, it's going to be a bloodbath.
Lamont, you got people there. What's the rumblings?
Lamont, you deliver checks. I'm sorry.
No, he didn't. He didn't deliver checks over there. They met at the restaurant.
Wow. Did you not? You know what? You know what? White Jesus is not going to bless you, man. You hear me?
Just me? Because
yeah,
went in and gave a little bit. So it's just me.
Listen, my Jesus is black, so my Jesus is black, so I'm good over here.
White Jesus is not. Well, here's what I disagree a little bit. I think it's a money play, man. I think this is about these guys having a long-term strategy of not paying some of their bills. And, a part of the bills are some of the, royalties that they need to pay to performance rights organizations. So when the artists on these 856 radio stations are getting their records played, iHeartRadio is supposed to pay, for those records to be played. And they're like, you know what, we're going to keep some of this revenue for us. Because they also, and Maynard, you can help me with this a little bit, because the CEO said this, they do still have pretty good cash flow. But they have had debt that they've been dragging along for so long that it's bogging down the current cash flow. And they just like, you know what? We're going to get rid of some of this debt. And this is the way we do it. And you know what? Put it on our credit report because we don't care. And we'll be fine because we still got cash flow coming in.
Well, I would agree.
There's
Radio is.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Radio is a cash cow, typically.
Right.
And the challenge is this, though. When you show up, first of all, and I hear you, the artists aren't getting their money, which Clear Channel probably represents the largest. I'm sorry, iHeartRadio probably represents one of the larger.
iHeartMedia.
iHeartMedia, one of the larger payers or licensees of BMI, CSAC, and ASCAP. And so, yeah, their $10 million or $15 or $20 million that they owe is big, obviously, to the artists who are waiting for those checks. But on a $20 billion lawsuit, $20 million is, it's chump change here. What I think is going to happen is that the judge, the trustee is going to say, you know what, you guys are the biggest. You're the biggest by 3 and 4 times than anyone else. We're going to have to cut you up. If you want to get out of this, and it's going to cost you. It's going to be some pain, and that pain is you're not going to have 800. What was the number you said? 856.
856. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. You're not going to keep 856 stations, and we're not going to let you do what you did before, which was the Radio One strategy, or how at the time Radio One, now Urban One, got up. Clear Channel dumped a bunch of sticks or what we call radio stations sticks in the mud when they're not amazing radio stations, and Radio One got a chance to jump in on those really cheap. They're not going to, that's not going to be a strategy again. They're going to say, yeah, you can dump some stations, but you're going to dump some of these bigger sticks, some of these bigger stations, because that's where the money is. If we're going to relieve you of 10 billion of your 20, you're going to have to give something up. We're just not going to just knock off $10 billion and let you keep everything you got. No, it ain't happening.
And under the bankruptcy, that the trustee, they can make them sell, correct?
Yes, they can make them sell, or they can say, no, you can keep everything, but we ain't going to knock off any of this debt. I mean, there's lots of things that can be done. And remember this, and this is the critical part, the bankruptcy trustee works for the federal government, and the radio stations, the licenses actually belong to the people, and they are under the trustee's care of the federal government. So which that other trustee is the FCC. So the stations, the licenses, like if you really want to broadcast at 92.1 or 105.3 or whatever that dial is and that frequency, that belongs to the federal government. So they have an additional amount of leverage to make them give up those radio station signals.
So what you're saying is if I call T-Rub, I can get this done? And keep everything?
What you trying to do? You trying to buy a station? You trying to get something on the cheap? Is that
asking.
what we doing?
No, is that what you're saying? So it all goes back to Donald. So Donald still is winning, right? What is this approval rating at 26%?
All right, let's get a break.
I have no idea how you brought that back to Donald.
It's that
time, though. It's that time, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of Donald Trump, let's go and let's do the Cactus of the Week. This is where somebody says some stupid-ish, and they got to choke on their words. Maynard, do you have a cactus?
I have a cactus. There is a cactus target and victim, and this person is not unfamiliar to eating. You may be a hotshot athlete at one point in your life. You played basketball, you scored lots of points. At least you said lots of jump shots. And you made lots of money. God bless you. I think you even won a championship with the Boston Celtics. But you got caught out there selling dope. And now you all over the news, Big Baby Davis, for selling dope. You may be innocent. I'm not suggesting that you aren't. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. But when I see you on the back of a private plane with a suitcase full of money and like 5 Popeyes chicken buckets in front of you talking about, I got paid from shooting jump shots and not selling dope, and you eating chicken and your face is greasy, and my dude, you are setting back the race like 1,000 years. He's eating the chicken with the grease on his face, and he just put the whole bone in his mouth. And what is all of that? I'm going to hope that you can replace one of those chicken legs with a piece of this cactus. My man, don't Donald Trump yourself out here. Handle your business in a fashion that's conducive to you getting off, or at least getting a light sentence. Because right now, you looking as Desus and Mero would say, you looking mad flagrant out here, my dude. You looking crazy. Cactus.
Okay. We out, ladies and gentlemen. Rest in peace to Craig Mack. Maynard says that he's not going to be a loss to hip hop, but okay.
Whoa. You tried to sneak one in. Yo, no, sir. You said
Lamont,
we out.
Didn't he say last week that he wasn't going to be, he's not going to be a loss to hip hop?
Yeah. That's what Maynard said.
I did not say that.
Well, what'd you say, Maynard?
I said he was basically a one-hit wonder. And
which means that, he's not going to be missed from the culture.
Right. Because you said he didn't contribute anything.
I said he was a one-hit wonder.
And he contributed nothing to this thing called hip-hop.
He contributed his one massive hit and about 2 or 3 other songs that were decent. But what I would say more important about Craig Mack, what I admire about him, because I love Flavor in Your Ear. Nobody bought that. You didn't buy that album, did you, Lamont? Or were you working that album back then?
What do you mean? Of course I did.
You worked that album or you bought it?
I bought it. I never worked at Bad Boy.
Oh, okay.
I worked at Uptown. I didn't work at Bad Boy.
Uptown, my bad. You're right. Okay. With apologies. What I will say is when I watched Puffy's Can't Stop, Won't Stop on Apple Music that came out, was that last June or something like that? And they were trying, and Puff was doing the reunion and trying to get everybody back together. And he called Craig Mack, and Craig Mack was like, "No, I'm good. Thank you. I appreciate the phone call, but I don't. I've given my life to Christ." And what people may like about his religion or his religious beliefs, or dislike about his religious beliefs, he was true to his convictions. Whether you agree or disagree with his belief system, he was true to them. And I appreciate that. And that's stand up.
Still disrespectful, bro.
He wasn't. I mean, my dude.
I'm just saying he was.
He had one hit. Name 5 songs by Craig Mack that, like, you were really absolute. No, not you, Lamont. I'm sorry. Spud. After Flavor in Your Ear and Flavor in Your Remix, what's Craig Mack song are you going to put in your Serato to play at a party?
None.
Okay. I rest my case.
I mean, if I was like a underground, like hip hop New York joint, I might play Get Down, but other than that, Making Moves, I might play that. But other than that, the unfortunate part about it is that Biggie just took off so massive that it just overshadowed Craig Mack. I mean, bless his back, bless his heart. Biggie just took off, and it was all about Biggie from that point.
And so, Lamont, what Craig Mack joints are in heavy rotation for you?
Well, here's what I'm gonna say, man. I heard an interview on Saturday by DJ Eric B from Eric B and Rakim, and he shed some light that kind of made a lot of sense to me as well. Is that, for Craig Mack to have congestive heart failure at 46, the brother had actually been very sick with his heart issues for like the past 15 years. And I didn't know that. So while he was on, his religious, journey, he was also dealing with health issues, like real serious health issues. So, he even, talked about when he spoke to Craig last, a few weeks before he passed, is that, he knew that this was coming very soon. So I just thought that was important to just say, you know what I mean, instead of, going where Maynard was trying to go. Because again, to me, I just think he was a very large contribution. I think he was the first dude that came out on Bad Boy. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, that means something to me. It means something. So we're not going to let Maynard tarnish that man's image and his energy and what he contributed to this hip hop thing. We ain't going to let you do that, Maynard.
On that note, we out, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for tuning into this episode of Three Black Guys with the Mic. We'll be back again next Tuesday. Tell your friends.
Buy a T-shirt. Somebody out there buy a T-shirt.
Dang.
I got these T-shirts for sale.
Man got his T-shirt on. Got that T-shirt on. Go get you a T-shirt, man, at 3blackguyswiththemic.com. Follow the conversation at 3blackguyswiththemic.com. I'm sorry, Facebook.com/3blackguyswiththemic. And we'll do it again on Tuesday. Peace out.
Peace out.